Hey folks, this is Jake Davis, and today I would like to bring you a top 5 if you'd allow me to. It's been over a month since I did a top 5 video. I've been really busy lately, you know, having a broken leg and all. And I wanted to get one of these out here. Like I said, it's been a while since I did one. I really enjoy doing top 5s, mainly because I get to talk about multiple movies in one video. So, my subject today is the top 5 Pixar films. Pixar was an animation studio, CG animation studio, established in the 1980s, which was somewhat founded by Steve Jobs. Eventually they got a deal with Disney, his distribution deal with Disney, and in 1995 they started making the first full-length, fully CG animated films, and they've been true prestige and box office golden gooses ever since. 20 films to talk about. Well, I'm gonna break down my top 5 here. I might talk about the other 15. I'm gonna talk about the other 15. But anyways, let's get to the top 5. Number 5, I would say Monsters Incorporated, or Monsters Inc. for some people. A quick little disclaimers here. I'm not gonna have any sequels in my top 5. I think animated sequels are unnecessary, even when they're really good. I appreciate when they're really good, but they're not really necessary. Monsters Incorporated is such a really, really good movie, and the whole setup for this one is that we got, it's the world of monsters, and it's actual job where energy comes from children's screams. So when monsters popping up under the bed, hiding in the closet, they're actually just trying to, they're working men. And it's a really fun, imaginative movie with amazing voice performances from John Goodman and Billy Crystal, and Steve Buscemi, who is an underrated voice actor. Also has one of the final performances of any kind by film legend James Coburn before he passed away. The little girl, Boo, is probably one of my favorite Pixar characters. One of the most adorable kids I've ever seen in a movie. And the fact that she was actually voiced by, at the time, of Pete Docter's 2-year-old daughter, Ellie, was really adorable. Ellie also did the voice of another character that I'm going to talk about later. Number 4 is Coco. Coco is the most recent film on this list, and Coco is one of those kind of really special movies where I really didn't go into it knowing anything at all other than it was Pixar. And, had faith in it to be something worth watching. I think it's terrific. While researching this, I realized that it's Pixar's only musical, which is interesting to me because, cartoons and Disney are so known for their musicals. This is such a good movie, and the whole story of it is a little boy in Mexico steals a guitar from a grave of a famous musician during Dios Muertos, and gets trapped in the land of the dead, and has to get a blessing from his family to get back to Earth, back to our realm before dawn. It's a really exciting, really fun movie with wonderful music and terrific performances, voice performances, especially from Miguel Garcia Bernal. And like I said, it's their only musical, and like I said, really, really good music in it. And also, it seems like cartoons and Disney are like the only place we're getting this kind of films about other worlds and other cultures still. Keep that shit coming. That's one of the few things I liked about Tangled, was all the different looks and costumes and designs of stuff. I liked the animation in it. I hated that movie, but it looked good. Number 3, Toy Story. Now I know, Toy Story number 3. Are you fucking nuts? I almost wanted to cheat and just have the whole Toy Story trilogy on here, because Toy Story is like a perfect trilogy, and unlike any of the other Disney Pixar sequels, Toy Story's films have consistently stayed about Woody the cowboy. Yeah, Buzz Lightyear is his best friend and his sidekick, but the movies are about Woody, where the other Pixar movies would flip in the sequels and make them about the sidekick. Of course, if you don't know, Toy Story it was at the time was a modern retelling of the bookstore after dark kind of thing, where everything or the toy store after dark. It was like a staple of old cartoon shorts back in the golden age. And Toy Story was cool because it was a full-length version of that concept, as was Wreck-It Ralph many years later, applied to video games in arcades. Toy Story is a great movie, and a big part of its success the the revolution of it being the first CGI animated film, but it was also the appeal of the cast and the music and the characters. Of course, Buzz Lightyear, but I mean, not counting like comic book characters or characters from literature or characters from history. Buzz Lightyear is seriously one of my favorite movie characters ever. It's just what a wild guy. I love Buzz. The way they had to contrive him to be like he was in the first one in the sequels, I love that too. I'm even going into the fourth one. How the hell are they going to get Buzz to be like Buzz again this time? Anyhow, we got and also, like I said, when I speak of the cast, I'm talking, Tim Allen was a huge TV star and movie star at the time, up-and-coming movie star. And Tom Hanks was the movie star of the 1990s. Everything he touched was gold. If he did a documentary of him taking a shit for 13 minutes, the movie would have made $100 million. Seriously, he was gold. Everyone loved Tom Hanks in the 1990s. Which is probably why he wouldn't have done a movie about him taking a shit, but let's just move on. Toy Story is great, wonderful movie, a perfect trilogy. Number 2 is Up. I think Up, more than maybe any other Disney movie, probably would have done those original animators, Disney himself, and a lot of the people that actually worked on films like Snow White and Fun and Fancy Free would have probably been what I assume would have been Up. Because Up, unlike so many other Pixar movies, like I said, Toy Story and Cars, were basically modernized, fleshed out versions of old standards from the shorts era. And that just sounds weird, but you know what I mean. And Up was something truly unique and very, very original, and like an instant classic, an amazing score, Oscar-winning score, and wonderful characters, and the dogs, the talking dogs are great. Doug's a great character. Alpha is a great character. Christopher Plummer and Ed Asner doing the voices was wonderful. The idea that you could they got guys who could have played these dudes if it was live action. It was great. And Up's a special movie. It's a very emotional movie. I mean, like, I've seen people say, like, if you don't cry in the first 10 minutes of Up, you're not fucking human. And that might be legit. But Ellie Doctor, Pete Doctor's daughter, who did the voice of Boo, also does the voice of little Ellie and Up. And the Pete Doctor trilogy, Pixar trilogy, maybe, I think, their proudest shit, their finest work. And Pete Docter made, Up, Inside Out, and Monsters Ball, and they're all wonderful. That's why when we had Boo and had Ellie, I was a little disappointed he didn't get his little girl to do the voice of Riley. But that was just something I thought of watching the films as a fan. And my number 1 is The Incredibles. The Incredibles is it's in the era that we've had, like, pretty much every superhero movie everybody wanted to see growing up. We got those now. Sure, there's still stuff that hasn't been made. There's still potential out there for comic books. So there always will be. But I grew up never thinking I'd see X-Men or Justice League or the Avengers. I never thought they'd make these movies, much less they make them and I'd love them. And even now that with all those being here, where you just enjoy them again and again and again forever, The Incredibles is still just as good as any one of them. It came out before most of them. No live action version, TV, live action TV or film has touched of the Flash or Quicksilver. Oh my God, sorry. No live action version of the Flash or Quicksilver, TV or film, has touched the dash scene from The Incredibles. The Incredibles is a hoot. I love The Incredibles, and if you don't know, it's about superhero family. It's the best Fantastic Four movie they've ever made. And yeah, Sam Jackson's great, Holly Hunter, Craig T. Nelson, Jason Lee, and the late Elizabeth Pena all do wonderful, wonderful voice work. And I do believe it's the only animated movie to ever win an Oscar for sound, which is I think is fascinating. So yeah, that's my pick for what I think are the best Pixar movies ever. And fuck, I'm gonna run through the others real quick. I already said Toy Story 2, Toy Story 2 and 3 are both really great. They did a wonderful job of building and expanding the world they created. Getting Woody's background and the Woody Roundup song is a great thing. All the villains in Toy Story 3 are wonderful, and plus that last 20-30 minutes of the movie is just wonderful stuff. Fine filmmaking. Incredibles 2 is a really, really fun movie. I think the villain is very lacking, but at the same time, they can't all be Syndrome. Syndrome's a great villain. I thought the three Cars movies, Cars, in a way I really love the first Cars because I didn't think they'd make it work. I think it has a good emotional connection. It's technically just a remake of Doc Hollywood, but Paul Newman being part of it was a big plus. The two sequels, they go from, a lot of people say they suck. I won't say they straight up suck. I just say that they're forgettable. The ones I don't like Finding Dory, I don't like Finding Nemo, I don't like WALL-E, and I don't like Ratatouille. The two Fish movies are too goddamn long. They got some memorable characters, but they're just too goddamn long. And Ratatouille and WALL-E are movies with their heads up their ass, as far as I'm concerned. I liked Brave, but I'm always a sucker for Celtic stuff. I liked Inside Out. Again, like I said, that special little trilogy they got there with Pete Docter. Monsters University is a terrific movie. Again, it's not the same kind of movie, but it's a nice, fun kind of college movie. I think I named the Good Dinosaur, Western with dinosaurs. The problem with that movie is it didn't have a movie star doing a voice. It didn't have a good marketing campaign. It had a stupid fucking title. They would have been better off calling it High Plains Herbivore or something like that. And A Bug's Life. Bug's Life is funny, but at the same time it's just a remake too. It's just a remake of The Three Amigos, but with bugs. So yeah. I think that's all of them. I think I got them all. But if I didn't, let me know. There's a lot of Pixar fanboys out there. Toy Story 4 is coming out this summer. I'm definitely taking my little girl to see it. But for me personally, I'm kind of on the fence about it. The third movie had a great ending, great finale. Every time you go back to a world like that, every time you go back to the well, you risk it being dry. Anyhow, that's what I gotta say about Pixar. I think there's a couple in there I really don't like at all, but at the same time, they don't pull away from the greatness of the others. And Inside Out is also a fake remake of a TV show from the early 90s, a very short-lived TV show called Inside Herman's Head. So yeah, that is Pixar. That's my take on Pixar. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope y'all have a good time watching my videos. Hope y'all watch my next videos. Hope y'all leave suggestions for what I should do for my next video or my last videos, or say stuff, like stuff, leave stuff. Enjoy. I'm Jake Davis. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the fly.